Good day guys, Bing here. So today we're going to try this one. So it's a shading device and can be with adjustable angle and with arms. Okay, so this will be the results. We're going to use curtain wall. So not because it's easier to model, but I think it will be easier to use because we can just simply create a curtain wall, and then that's it. So now we just adjust the angle, right? We can use it doesn't work. We can't use an MA match, but yeah, we can select more panels, so we can just change the angle, right? And also all these supporting arm, not very realistic, but at least they will work, right? So okay, so let's do it. So first I'll explain this a little bit. So this is a sketch I did. So this is one panel, right? So first we will model this frame, and then on top of the frame we'll model the panel, and then we will load this panel into another family, and then in that second family we will add a rotation angle to it. So it's basically an angle between the vertical reference plane and the panel. And then in this second family, we will also add this arm into it. Okay, and somehow we will make this arm parametric as well, and link the the width and the angle to this panel. So we will control them together. Okay, so and then after that we will load the whole thing into a curtain wall panel family, and then load that panel curtain wall panel family into a project. So let's start. Okay, so first we're going to start with a generic model. Okay, so in this family, so we're going to just place some reference plane. So RP for reference planes, and we're going to just add some dimensions equal and another dimension. So I'm going to call this one width. So let's use W instance. So this one, I think maybe height, let's call it H instance as well. And we also need, let's go to front view, we also need a reference plane for the thickness of this panel. So let's just do maybe 50. So actually I'm going to add another one, so maybe 10. So the 50 is for the thickness of the frame, and the 10 will be the thickness of the panel. Okay, so this 50, so I'll just call it maybe TH1, and maybe just use a type parameter for this, and also for this one will be TH2, so it will be type parameter as well. Okay, so now we can go back, and we are going to add some more reference planes. So these, okay, and so these reference planes are for the width of the frame. So let's add some dimensions. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then select all these dimensions, and then we can add frame width. Let's maybe call it WF. Okay, so it will be let's use type parameter for this. So I'm going to just change it to maybe 50. So it's 50 by 50. And also because we have so you can see in the this panel, so there's a middle frame. So we're going to add another two reference planes in the middle. So do another equal, and do another dimension. So, and I use this FW to it. So we will have this. And before we start to create the extrusion, so I'm gonna just select all these reference plans. So these, and I'll go here and change them to not a reference, because imagine when we finish this family, and when we create a curtain wall, and when we try to dimension it, I don't want to pick all these reference plans very easily. So I want the dimension to be I want dimension to go to these. So I mean, let's call it this. This should be the top. So if you wanted to, you can also change these. Right, so for example, you can make this as the top, this as bottom, this one, change this one to left, so change this one to right. Okay, so yeah, I think it can be useful. Okay, so now let's start extrusion. So create an extrusion. So I'll use rectangle. Okay, so first I'll do this one, and then lock onto the reference plans. Let me just type TL, so yeah, so easier for you to see. And then I'll just do another one here, another rectangle, and then lock onto the reference plan, another rectangle here, and lock onto the reference plan again. And okay, so all done, right? So now let's finish this extrusion. So now go to front view, and then we can just drag this onto this reference plane and lock it. Okay, so this is the frame. So if we go to 3D view, you will see this is the frame. So now we need to model the panel. Okay, and let's go to floor plan again. I'm gonna just select it, H, just temporarily hide it. Okay, so create another extrusion. So this time the panel, we only need one rectangular shape. So let's lock this. Okay, and also let's go to front view. I'm going to change the work plans, because default work plan is the level, so it always start from here. So we want to pick a plan and pick this reference plane instead. Okay, so we can just click on our open view, and actually we can just go back to front view, so we can see it will now start from this reference plane. So now we can finish this one and drag this down onto this reference plane and lock it. So now we can we have a panel, and also we can control the thickness of the panel. So let me just type TL to undo that thing, the thin line, and so now I can see that's panel. Let's now give them some material parameter. So for example, I'll just do a frame material. I'll just call it maybe frame material. Okay, so type is fine, and then also the panel material. So I'll just create another, I'll just call it panel material. Okay, so and this one, it's up to you if all the panel materials are the same. So you can just use type, and if you want to be very easily adjustable, so you can just use instance as well. But for now, I'll just use type. And also to make it easier, I'll just give it a material, and give it a translucent material. So we're not going to model the actual perforation, because it's you're not supposed to model that. You can just use a material with some. I'll just create a new material. You can always go to the go to the appearance, and then trying to find some nice I think, I'm not sure, probably here. Yeah, you should be able to find some this, right? So I'll just pick this one. And okay, so now we have this. So this is full appearance, so only used for realistic and also for render in Lumion. Oh, sorry, in Revit. But if it's only shade view or hidden line, it won't show this. So I usually I suggest you just give it a surface pattern, and I think that's enough. There's no option here, so that's fine. I'll just maybe just create a new one. So I'll just call it maybe 10 crosshatch. Yeah, 45 is fine. Maybe 20 and 20 because yeah, I don't want it to be too small, right? So I'll call it 20 by 20. Okay, so that's it. Okay, all good. And transparency, just add a little bit transparency to it. Okay, so click OK and OK. Oh, sorry, wrong one. So that's fine. So I'll just Control C, Control V, and then for this one, I'll use the default. I'll just click on this one to change this back to by category. Okay, so now we have this. So that's a frame, that's a panel. Okay, so this is almost done. It's a parametric one, so you can see if I change, so the height 1200, it will change change this one 750, the width. Okay, so the thickness of the frame, I'll change it to 40. Yeah, and also the frame width 40. Yeah, okay, so and then what's one panel 20. Okay, so yeah, all good. So now let's finish this one. So the next step is because currently there's no rotation angle or anything, we are going to create a new family. Okay, so in this new ones, it will still be a generic model. Okay, so and then we are going to let me think. We need to go to elevation. So currently it's a floor plan. So we go to elevation. Let's go to left, and I'm going to add a reference plane. So imagine this is the top of the panel, right? So it need to be sitting. So start from this point, come down this with an angle, right? With an angle. So we need to add this dimension to it. Let's call it height instance. Okay, and then from this point we're going to add a reference line. So remember, when we have rotation angles, usually we use reference lines. Okay, so with this reference line we're going to align AL. AL is AL here, AL, right? So align, and then in both directions. So pick this reference plane. So let me just TL again. So pick this reference line first, and then tab, pick the endpoint of this line, lock, and pick this reference plane and tab and lock. Okay, so now the endpoint of this reference line is being locked onto this. So every time you drag this end, it will stay, right? So this end will always stay at this intersecting point. Now we can add a dimension DI, angular, this, so that's an angle. So we can create an angular parameter. It's called A and instance. Okay, so now we can use this angular parameter to control this angle. The next step is we need to bring back bring that panel into this and place that panel onto this reference line. Okay, so let's go back here. So, and before we load this family into the other one, so we need to untick this always vertical. Okay, and tick this work plane based. Now we can load it into this family. So currently, so you can see we needed to pick place. We need to pick that work plane, right? So we need to go down here, pick a plane, OK, and move your cursor onto this reference line, but press tab once. Okay, press tab once. So now, we're going to pick this work plane of this reference line that perpendicular to the screen. Okay, and click. So now Revit will ask you which view you want to use. I'm going to just use a 3D view. Now you can see this is in a 3D view. We can see the reference line. So move under the line. We're going to just press space to rotate this panel. Okay, and then we're going to just place it onto this. Probably just place it on the midpoint. So now let's go back to the left. So we're going to add some more dimension to this reference line, because we know that when this panel close, like when this one come down to 0 degree, or the length of this panel should equal this height, right? So now let's select this reference line, click on this make temporary dimension permanent. Okay, so now we can apply the height, so which is this one to it. So now this reference line will always equal this height. Okay, so the next step is we want this panel, the height or the length of this panel also equal this one. So let's go here, apply this to it. Okay, so now let's try to move this to this end so it aligns that reference line. But okay, so if I move this, okay, so it looks like we have some issue. So you can see when we try to adjust the height, so the panel won't stay. So you can see the panel move up and down, right? So so we have to find a way to lock this panel onto this. I'm not sure actually. Let me try and see if I can just add a dimension and put a 0 into it and then lock it. I'm not sure. It might work. Yeah. Okay, it looks like it works, but I'm still not sure because we still need to change the angle. Yeah, I think it works. So how about 0 degree? Oh, sorry, 0 degree. What's going on? 0 degree. Okay, it works. Great. So that's good. Let me change this one to 30. Okay, so now we have some issue. Hang on, let me try again. So I'll just do it here. 10 degree, go back to 10 degree. It works. 30 degree, it works again. Okay, so that's fine. So if it works, I'll maybe just leave it. But if it doesn't work, I'll have another method for you. So actually, I'm going to show you. So we don't need that. So what we need to do is we go into this family, go to floor plan. So currently the origin of this family, so in the horizontal or the direction, the origin is this one, center, front, back. So what we can do is we can just untick this box and go to here. So because we want the top of this panel to be the origin, to be the base point, yeah. So we can just tick this box and then we load this back in here, override. And now we just need to move this to here. So now you will see, so it will stay. So it will stay here, stay at this point. So it doesn't matter. So we don't need that dimension to 0 dimension to lock this panel anymore. So right. So okay. So this is good. And then the next step, we have this panel, and also it's I'll just HH the dimension. We have this panel, and also it's adjustable, so we can change the angle. And okay, so sorry, I forgot. We still need to we have the height, we don't have the width, so let's just create a width parameter. It will be instance as well. And what else? So and then we just need to add that arm into it. For the arm, okay, so let's go to left. So first I'm going to, because imagine that if we create a I'll just hide HH this panel. If we connect this point and this, so this plane, and draw a reference plane or reference line, so this there will be a plane, will be we're going to use this work plane for the arm. Okay, so the arm will always sit in that work plane. So imagine that's a horizontal work plane of reference line, or this if we draw a reference plane. But of course, because we have a rotation angle, we're going to use reference line for this one. So let's create a reference line from this to here. Okay, so I'm going to lock the end pointer onto this intersecting point, and let me think. I'll try to adjust this 20. Yeah, I think that's it. Looks like we don't really need to worry about the angle, this angle, because it will always, stick onto this end point of this reference line. So yeah, that's good. And then what we need to do is, because this reference line, so if I go to 3D view and I'll tab, so we can see there's a horizontal work plane, so this one. So we're going to place a family onto this reference line, onto this horizontal work plane. Okay, so for this one, it's a little bit tricky to create this family in place, but what we can do is, I'll just do another screenshot. What we can do is, so eventually it will be something like this, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to model this one as a separate family. So this, imagine this is X, Y, right? And this will be, I'll place this one here. Okay, and then we know that this is the width, the W. Okay, and we just need to work out this, which is this. If I connect, do a parallel line, you need this distance. So how can we get this distance? So we need to use that rotation angle of this panel and also the height of the panel. So now we just need to, I'll just do another screenshot of this. So we need to do a little bit trigonometry for this one. So if I draw a line, vertical line here, so this is the angle, rotation angle A, right? So and then the length of this is H. Okay, and then if I connect this one, down to the middle point. So because this one is H as well, so this equals this. So this is 90 degree, and so what we need to calculate is the length of this. So from this triangle, we know that, okay, I'll just draw it here. We know that this is half of the A. Okay, half of A. We know this is H, and then we can work out this. So let me call this one open. Let's open. Let's call it O. Not O. Confusing. 0. What do we call it? WABN. How about N? Okay, so let's call this one N. So which is half of this one, right? So let's call it N. We in this as 90 degree right angle and triangle. So this is sine. Okay, sine bracket A divided by 2 equals N divided by H. Okay, so N divided by H. So which means N equals, go there, sine A divided by 2 times H. And then we just need to double this N. So we just type times 2, and then this will be the, this length. Okay, so this is this, and with this one, so we can create a family. We can just create a family with this shape, right? And then place it onto this reference line. So okay, so let's do it. First, new family, another generic model family. So reference plane RP, I'll just mirror another reference plane. So this time, because we only need to be a V shape, so that's enough. And the dimension equal another dimension. So this will be the W. We just need to create a W parameter and then just link to the same W from the panel. And this, let's call it, maybe just call it N. Okay, so N will be instance. Okay, and then we just create reference line from this point to here to here. And I don't think we need to lock, because it's very simple. So Revit understand what we want to achieve, so it will always adjust this reference line to follow the reference planes. And then we just need to create a sweep and pick path. This one, finish, create a form. Let's go to 3D view. If you want to, you can also give it a radius or diameter, so you can control. So I'll just do a circle at the dimension DI, and what do we call this one? The arm depth, arm diameter, AD. Okay, so let's do AD. Okay, instance. Probably type is fine. And then maybe I'll change this one to roughly, I'm not sure, maybe 20. Okay, so that should be it. Finish. So now we have this. And then again, we'll go to here, so property, untick the always vertical and tick the work plane based. And then if you want to, you can also create a parameter. So I'll just call it arm material. Okay, so and then type is fine, and then we can load this one into. So let me check which one we need to load it into. Family 6. So we need to load into family 6. Okay, so let's place it. We can place it in 3D view. So go here, pick a plane. Okay, try to pick not this one. This is a vertical one. So tab, pick the horizontal one, and then move to this end. Space, and place. Okay, and then we just need to link. So for the width, we just use the width we already have from this panel, so you can see or match the panel size. And then here for this one, it can be a little bit tricky, so we just need to create a parameter. Let's call it N instance. Okay, and okay, and then we need to type in the formula we did, so which is this one, sine bracket a divided by 2 times h times 2. Okay, so let's go here. It'll be sine bracket a divided by 2 bracket times h times 2. Okay, so and click on apply. That's it. Now let's have a test. So if we go angle, so 30 degree, right? 10 degree, it works. And also let's adjust the height. And width. That's it. So now we can load this into a curtain wall panel family. So let's create a new family, and this time it will be a curtain wall panel. Okay, so now go back to this, load it into the curtain wall panel. So in the floor plan, so let's just place it roughly in the middle. So now we do, okay, so we need to okay, so we couldn't see a handle, so this is because we didn't create a reference plan. So we need to go to let's go to floor plan. We need to add reference plan di dimension equal another dimension, and that will be it. So we use the wrong one, width. Okay, and that's it. Now if we load this one into that curtain wall panel family, so and then that's a handle. So drag onto this reference plan, drag onto this reference plans. Okay, so now let's go to left view. So we also need to drag this onto this. There's no handle as well. Go back to this family, go to left view. So we already have this instance parameter, but the reason why, so it's happens a lot, quite often. So this is because when we do a dimension, we use the level instead of a reference plan. So we just need to drag this witness line point and tab release. Okay, so now it's been dimensioned onto the reference line, not the level. Okay, so select this and apply that height, load it back. Okay, overwrite. Now you should see this. Drag this up to this reference plan and lock. And again, so we need to, because we need to control these parameters eventually in the project. So let's just associate family parameters. Let's call this A instance. Okay, don't worry about H and don't worry about Y or W, because they are controlled by the curtain wall grid. Okay, so anything else? Nope. Edit type. Okay, so I think that, oh, hang on, where's my material? Okay, so that's fine. Let's go back. We need to associate the parameters so we can control them. So go edit type. Okay, so they're all here. So yeah, that's all good. So same, I'll just call it frame material. Okay, so they should be the same. So I'll just use type. Okay, and then do the panel material. Although they can be different, but I guess we can also use type, because we can just create a new type, right? So yeah, type is fine as well. And the frame width. Okay, so maybe this time I'll just name them properly, so it's easier for us to understand which one's which. And type is fine. And the TH1 is okay. The frame depth, type. Okay, TH2 the panel. Let's call it panel thickness. Okay, I think that's all. Okay, and then also this is arm, right? So don't worry about these two, but we still have a material parameter here, and also the arm diameter as well. So yeah, let's just do this, arm material, and also the arm diameter. So let's just call it arm diameter. Okay. So now everything's done. Let's load this one into the curtain wall panel family. And again, we need to do this again, because otherwise we won't be able to control them. So yeah. Yeah, all good. So this is frame material. This is panel material. Yeah, you might ask, why do we do all those, nest, hosted family, host and nest family? I believe it's possible to model everything in here, but it can be tricky. It's easier to just do this, like separate them. So, but just be careful, because try not to have too many layer, because it can become heavy. Okay, I think that's all. Yeah, okay. So don't worry about these two. Now, okay, so this is the curtain wall panel. So this is the final product before we can load it into a project. So now let's create a project. Let's just use this architecture template. And we will start with this wall, and we're going to use maybe storefront. Just do a storefront like this. So go back to that curtain wall family. Oops, sorry. Load it into the project. Now let's go to 3D view. Select this curtain wall. I'm going to just edit type, duplicate. I'll just call it new. Okay. So the panel. So we just go down, find the family with a number, and everything here should be fine. So we're going to keep the mullions because we probably need some framing, right? So I'll keep all these, and for the layout, so you can change. So if you want this one to match the level height, for example, so you can just change this horizontal grid. For the vertical grid, maybe make it a little bit narrower. I think that's it. So I click on apply, and see, so because we used fixed, I think we use fixed distance, so the bottom one will always be the fixed 3.3 meter. So now once we increase the height, Revit will add more panels. And for all these panels, because the rotation angles are because the rotation angle is instance parameter, so for each of them, so we can adjust, right? And let me just type IC, so it's easier for me to pick the panel without touching all the mullions, and then we can just change some of the angles. We can do have some interesting configuration, right? So, and if you want to change the material, so you just go edit type, you can change all the materials here. So for the material panel color, for the panel material, because I used the type parameter. So if you want to change that, you need to, I think probably easier to use instance parameter, so we can easily change the material. If we use if we use type parameter, and if we need to change to a different material, we have to unpin it, edit type, duplicate, and create a new one with a different material, panel with material. So for example, I'll do it. Maybe I'll use this one, for example, or maybe this one, right? So, and then this is a different panel, and you need to select this one, unpin, and then change to a different panel. So this is how you can change this material. Go unpin and do this. But we can also go back to the family, right? So go edit type, so go here, panel material, so edit, change it to an instance parameter, so load it back into the project, So which means now if we go to, let me just go to 3D view. So now you can select the panel, and then that's a material here. So you can very easily just, I'll just Control C, Control V, and then maybe select some of the panels, and then just apply, just paste the name to it, and that's it. We don't need to create a new type. So we can all use the same type. We can all select all. I'll just ping all these panels back. Here. This one. SA. Oh, doesn't work. Sorry, only this one. Yeah, so we can still use the same, but we can change the material here. So we can have very easily change the material here. Okay, so what's going on? Oh, nah. Yeah, so this is it. Let me try. Can I MA? This doesn't work. Interesting. Anyway, so I'll maybe Control C. I'll just change this one. I don't want a black panel. Control V. Okay, so HR to bring back the frame, and this is it. Okay, so yeah, I'll upload this family so you can have a play. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.